The next step really is, instead of leaving everything to let's try to figure out which services are appropriate for my environment, we've come up with a few things to help you deploy quickly and with confidence. And we've developed architectural patterns, which is why the question before was so key, based on those use cases. The second thing we've done is we've taken those patterns and we're starting to make those available as automated deployments within Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, the console itself. We're going to walk through these, by the way. And then last, I'm sure there's folks in our audience who are saying, that's all great, but I just want to learn and experiment. We have something brand new called Oracle Live Labs. So I'm going to give you a quick tour of each of these. Let's go to the next one. So Departmental Data Warehouse, Enterprise Data Warehouse, these are all patterns. And I'll walk you through the website, and I'll give you the link at in a little bit here, that have architectural diagrams, descriptions, white papers, technical papers, I should say, and Terraform scripts where you actually go through and choose, and you can, if you're a little more technical, apply the Terraform script. So let's actually go to the next, and it's a video, just so we don't have any errors here. Here are the different use cases. There are pictures. Let's go down to the departmental mart for eBusiness Suite. Similar to what Andy showed earlier, here's the use case pattern for that. This is an example of an enterprise application and departmental spreadsheets, collecting that into the data warehouse with Analytics Cloud. Then, of course, you want to say, okay, let's take a look at that. Let's go into more information. Here in our architecture center, and there's a ton of these in here, by the way, I'm just selecting one, not totally at random. If you scroll down here, here's the architecture again. Here's the description of each of the services in the different categories. Here's some recommendations on services we think are appropriate here, some consideration. And what's most interesting is we've put together a deployment for this. We've scripted this into a Terraform script, and it's actually housed in GitHub. Here's the link. Here's the architecture. Here are all the components. Not trying to hide anything. There's no magic here. We've put these together for you to really speed deployment, prerequisites, and so on in order to deploy. If you don't like it, we can destroy it. And again, back to the reference architecture. Oh, that's a misspelling there. All right, so let's go on to the next. So those are your architecture use cases. Let's also look at the OCI console. So we've taken those patterns, we packaged them in, and we're starting to automate them in the console itself. So if you're in the console, there's a kind of in the upper quick actions there. Oh, let's go back. There we go. I think this should be playing. That's okay. There we go. It is alive. This is recorded, but this is live. So there's a button there that says create a stack, and we select this button. What you will then see is a list of solutions. And in here, I'm kind of cheating. There's the departmental data warehouse, similar to what we saw in the pattern. And in this automated deployment will deploy Autonomous Data Warehouse and Oracle Analytics Cloud. It's as simple as selecting that. There are elements in here that you can change. So let's take a look at that. Let's just deploy the sample solution. We're going to click next. There's some parameters we can change in here to our heart's content, whether it's I want to change the name, a few parameters there. The whole point is automating this process. We'll take care of that for you. And it's pretty quick. Imagine if you had to do this yourself. You absolutely could. Again, trying to improve time to market of these solutions. You can apply all the changes and move on. Let's actually go to the next slide. This is just a screen of actually deploying, and it goes pretty quickly. The third piece is I get automated deployment, I get use cases, I just want to get my hands on. What's new is something called Oracle Live Labs. It's a series of workshops. You reserve the date and time, you run the workshop in the Oracle Cloud, and I'll show you a little bit about that. And then hopefully through the workshop, you learn the skill. So let's take a look at this. So this is the website. Again, you get the URL here in a minute. A variety of featured workshops. Let's go ahead and take a look at all the available workshops. If I click there, I think it goes in a minute. There it goes. I just described that. Go back to viewing all those featured workshops, yes. So let's take a look. So, and this will continue to grow. So this is what we have today, autonomous database in depth, so on. I can actually filter. So let's take, hey, I want to actually learn a little, I want to be more productive. What do we have in the area of AI and ML? Oh, machine learning and autonomous database. We heard about that a little bit earlier. So what does that workshop entail? Here's the about screen. There's some prerequisites. There's the outline. And then there are ways to run this workshop. You can run it in our free trial, the always free environment. And also we allow you to run in your tenancy as well using your credits. So you actually get to own the resulting infrastructure. So these are just some of the ways in this course we can reserve the workshop. Pretty simple here. Let's go to the next slide. All of these are available through our new link here, oracle.com/modern-data-warehouse. Seems like a mouthful. Hopefully it's memorable. So if we go to this site, should be live today, you'll be able to access the things I just mentioned. Obviously, you're going to have to go to the OCI console to access that. But the architecture patterns and live labs, you'll be able to access here and much, much more. But we didn't stop there. Next slide. We're going to have more events. There was a lot to cover here. So if we look at our roadmap, our calendar out here, if you go to oracle.com/transform-data, all one word, there's a variety of events, virtual events. This is the kind of I don't want to call it the new normal, but this is really easy to consume on getting started, the changing role of the DBA. And I like to point out our partnership with Accenture on August 27th. We're partnering with partners as a business partner to our customers. We're partnering with our partners to deliver these solutions in a timely manner as well.